guys! So I did a thing, got some bangs, trying to get used to it, but I kind of feel like I look like Dora the Explorer, so we'll roll with it for now. Leave your comments below. What do you think? Should I keep the bangs? Should I grow them out? What do you think? Welcome to Adventures with Hanani. I don't know if you guys know this, but this week California has broken out into some amazing wildfires. There are fires everywhere. So unfortunately, our adventure for this weekend is canceled because I can't go out in the smoke. It is literally raining ash. But what I'm going to share with you this week is an adventure I went on last month in which I flew from California to Tennessee to visit my family, and we spent some time up in Kentucky as well. If you've never been to Tennessee, you should definitely take a visit after, COVID. And it's an amazing place, a little humid, but nicest people you will ever find, and amazing food. So here's our trip to Tennessee. So flying during this whole COVID thing was a little nerve-wracking, I have to be honest. We flew on United, and thankfully we didn't see any people arguing with flight attendants about wearing masks. They knew that was the rule, and that was fine. Flights went pretty well until we got to our last leg, which was going from Texas to Nashville. Got on the flight, beautiful plane. It was one of those fancy big giant jets. And unfortunately, right when they were about to close the doors, they told us that some lovely individual had decided to flush a diaper down the airplane toilet. So our flight was being delayed, but we couldn't leave the plane because of how they were boarding from back to front. So they were calling maintenance in, trying to fish the diaper out of the toilet because it backed up all the toilets in the plane. Fun stuff. And then once that got settled, someone decided that they had had enough. They weren't sitting on the plane anymore, and this gentleman decided to just walk off the plane. Totally in his right, fine, you don't want to fly, cool. But then they had to find out who this person was and get their bags off the plane, and then get another clearance from the tower. So by this point, we had been sitting at the gate on the plane without a bathroom for about an hour and a half. And I was traveling with my son, who's 8, and there was another mom on the other side of the plane who was traveling with her 2 kids. And one of the young kids was probably around 4 to 5, and he was not having it. They weren't serving food on the plane. It was boring. I totally understand. But I just want to share a little tiny clip with you. This kid was having a tantrum, like full on tantrum, which is expected of babies. But I just felt like this mom was on her cell phone the whole time, completely ignoring the kid, wouldn't even look at her son. And the flight attendants came by and were trying to calm him, saying, hey, can I get you a water? Do you have a toy? Look, here's a magazine you can look at. And his mom acted like everybody else around her did not exist. And then her kid proceeded to then spit and throw things on the flight attendant. And again, the mom completely ignored, didn't even apologize to the flight attendant. It was very interesting. Anyway, this continued on the entire flight. Very long flight. I have never encountered a flight where a child of that age was screaming the entire time and throwing things at other passengers. Anyway, so we ended up getting to Nashville probably, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And then we ended up driving about 3 hours from Nashville to where my family lives, in West Tennessee. And got in about 1 o'clock in the morning. So it was quite an adventure. Thankfully our flight back was a lot smoother, but just wanted to show you some highlights of our week in West Tennessee. So I really tried to throw things in during the week that were different and fun that I had never done before. And I found that they had a drive-through safari in Tennessee that was only about an hour from where my mom lived. So we decided to get in the car and drive. And if you have never been to this safari park in West Tennessee, you need to go. It was amazing. You could buy buckets of food and feed the animals. They came right up to your car, and it was great because you get it's like going to a zoo, but you're in an air-conditioned car. One caveat though, I had no idea the size and magnitude of the safari park. It took us almost an hour and a half or 2 hours to drive through the whole park. I was expecting a quick 15-minute in and out. So when you go to the safari park, I highly recommend you stop in their visitor center and use the restroom before you get in that car. to start driving because that was an issue. But once you're done with the drive-through safari, then they have a walk-through zoo where you can also see animals like peacocks and a great aviary. And they also have some great snacks and burgers and fries. So if you get a chance to go to the safari park in Tennessee, it's definitely a must. So that concludes our trip to Tennessee and one day in Kentucky, which we spent at a water park there. If you ever get a chance, I know Tennessee is maybe out of the way and you're thinking, well, there's not much to do there into the south. Definitely go. It's a great trip and I hope you enjoy our adventure. Thank you for watching Adventures with Hanani.